They told you freedom meant doing
What
whatever
is
you
this?
want.
No!
Sleep when
Get
you
off
want.
me!
Eat what you want. Spend what you want. Say whatever you feel. Quit when it gets uncomfortable. That's freedom, right? Then why do you feel trapped? Trapped by your habits. Trapped by your bank account. Trapped by your body. Trapped by your emotions. Trapped by unfinished goals. You're not free. You're reacting. You wake up to alarms you snooze. You scroll through mornings you can't get back. You make decisions based on mood instead of mission. And at night you promise yourself, tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow keeps looking exactly like today. Here's the truth no one likes to say. Undisciplined freedom is just disguised slavery. Slavery to impulse. Slavery to comfort. Slavery to distraction. Slavery to the weaker version of yourself. Real freedom feels different. It feels controlled. Intentional. Sharp. Deliberate. And that's where the paradox begins. The more rules you give yourself, the freer you become. Discipline has been marketed as punishment, as restriction, as suffering, as a joyless existence. But discipline is not punishment. It is protection. Protection from your lowest instincts. Protection from wasted years. Protection from regret. Think about it. Financial freedom doesn't come from spending without limits. It comes from controlled spending. From saying no today so you can say yes tomorrow. Physical confidence doesn't come from eating whatever you crave. It comes from regulated choices repeated consistently. Emotional peace doesn't come from expressing every feeling instantly. It comes from restraint. From pause. From control. Freedom is not the absence of structure. It is the result of it. Comfort is the most seductive prison in the modern world. It whispers softly. You've worked hard. Skip today. One more episode won't hurt. You deserve this. You can start next week. Comfort never screams. It persuades. And slowly, it owns you. You don't wake up one day massively behind in life. You drift there. One skipped workout at a time. One ignored budget at a time. One emotional outburst at a time. One delayed goal at a time. Comfort compounds. But so does discipline. Aggressive self-regulation is not about being extreme. It's about being non-negotiable. You don't debate with your alarm clock. You don't argue with your standards. You don't consult your mood. You decide once, and that decision becomes law. Wake up time? Fixed. Workout schedule? Locked. Spending rules? Clear. Phone usage? Controlled. Emotional reactions? Managed. This is not obsession. This is ownership. Because every time you negotiate with weakness, weakness gets stronger. Every time you give in to impulse, impulse gets louder. But every time you override it, you get stronger. Self-regulation builds internal authority. And internal authority is power. Let's talk about emotions. Most people are not controlled by circumstances. They're controlled by their reactions. Someone disrespects them, they explode. Something goes wrong, they collapse. They feel tired, they quit. That's not freedom. That's emotional captivity. Aggressive self-regulation means you pause before reacting. You feel anger, but you don't become anger. You feel fear, but you don't obey fear. You feel discomfort, but you move anyway. You separate feeling from action. That separation is maturity. And maturity unlocks freedom. Because once your emotions stop controlling you, other people can't control you either. Here's the real paradox. Discipline reduces short-term pleasure. But it multiplies long-term options. And options are freedom. When you control your money, you gain choices. When you control your health, you gain energy. When you control your time, you gain opportunity. When you control your reactions, you gain influence. The disciplined life looks restricted from the outside. But from the inside, it feels powerful. You don't wake up guessing who you'll be today. You already know. You are the person who does what needs to be done. Not because you feel like it. Because you decided. Identity is where this becomes permanent. If discipline is something you try to do, you will fail. But if discipline is who you are, everything changes. You don't skip workouts because you are not someone who skips. You don't overspend because you are not someone who sabotages their future. You don't lash out because you are not someone ruled by emotion. You protect your identity. An identity-driven behavior is unbreakable. Let's be honest. The world benefits from your lack of discipline. Distraction is profitable. Impulse is monetized. Weakness is marketed to. Every notification is competing for your focus. Every advertisement is competing for your restraint. Every convenience is competing for your effort. If you do not aggressively regulate yourself, the world will regulate you. Through debt. Through distraction. Through dependency. Self-discipline is rebellion. It is a quiet refusal to be manipulated. There will be mornings when you don't want to get up. Get up anyway. There will be days when you want to quit. Continue anyway. There will be moments when reacting feels justified. Pause anyway. Not because it's easy, but because you understand something most people never do. Short-term comfort creates long-term confinement. Short-term discipline creates long-term liberation. Picture two futures. In one, you follow every mood. Every craving. Every excuse. Life feels easy now. But 5 years pass. And you're stuck. In the other, you enforce standards. You endure discomfort. You override impulse. Life feels harder now. But 5 years pass. And you have options. Strength. Stability. Confidence. Respect. Which one is freedom? The paradox of discipline is simple. The tighter you control yourself, the looser the world's grip becomes. When you master your impulses, no one can manipulate your desires. When you master your time, no one can waste it. When you master your emotions, no one can provoke you. When you master your habits, no one can outwork you. That is freedom. Not loud. Not flashy. Not chaotic. But earned. So stop chasing the illusion of effortless living. Stop confusing indulgence with independence. Stop calling lack of structure freedom. Freedom is built. Brick by brick. Choice by choice. Day by day. In the dark. Without applause. Without motivation. Because motivation fades. Identity remains. Standards remain. Discipline remains. And when discipline becomes automatic, you don't feel restricted. You feel unstoppable. You want ultimate freedom? Regulate yourself aggressively. Protect your focus. Guard your time. Control your reactions. Master your habits. Design your life so tightly that chaos has no room to enter. Because the undisciplined live by mood. The disciplined live by design. And design is freedom.